In the Middle Ages, boys became men at the age of 8. In medieval times, childhood ended early. Boys became men at age 8. Girls ran entire households by 12. Children worked alongside adults from the moment they could walk. The word child wasn't even used that much. Most languages didn't have a specific term for this life stage. By age 8 or 9, children were no longer considered kids. They were seen as young adults. Boys from noble families started training for knighthood at 7. They practiced with wooden swords. They learned to ride small horses or ponies. They watched and learned from the knights they lived with. Girls had their own set of adult tasks. They learned to run households at a young age. This included budgeting and delegating tasks. They also learned to make clothes by hand. Some even learned how to organize feasts for hundreds of people. Medieval girls were also taught to brew ale. It was safer to drink than water at the time. Some boys attended local schools. These were often run by cathedrals or monasteries. They learned subjects like reading, writing, and arithmetic. Not all children went to school to become scholars. Some were dedicated to religious life by their parents. Boys might become monks or priests. Girls could be sent to convents to become nuns. Some children even helped in the family business. Archaeologists have found tiny fingerprints in medieval pottery. This shows that children were involved in all aspects of family work. Life for medieval children was full of dangers. Accidents were common in homes and fields. Children often fell from heights. They could drown in wells or rivers. Farm animals sometimes injured them. Coroner's reports give us details about these accidents. One report mentions a 2-year-old who drowned in a ditch. Another tells of a 5-year-old killed by a cart. Diseases were another major threat. Many children didn't survive their first year. Those who did still faced dangers like smallpox and plague. Discipline was harsh by today's standards. Both parents and teachers could beat children. They used hands, switches, or rods. Schools had specific rules about beatings. Some allowed only the headmaster to give punishments. Others let any teacher discipline students. Beatings could be given for bad behavior or poor academic performance. Monastic schools had their own customs. In spring, students and teachers would go to birch groves. They collected rods for the entire year's punishments. But children's spirits weren't easily broken. They wrote rhymes, mocking their teachers. Some of these rhymes have survived to this day. Despite all the grown-up responsibilities, medieval kids still found time to play. Archaeologists have dug up all sorts of toys. Many knights, tiny horses, and even little cooking pots and pans. Children enjoyed ball games and stick games. They played backgammon and chess. A popular medieval children's game was hot cockles. It was similar to the modern-day tag. In Canterbury and Salisbury cathedrals, you can still see game boards carved into benches by medieval kids.